Hello students, good morning. Now we will start with the chapter number 4, chemical thermodynamics. This is the chapter number 4 in our book, that is a chemical thermodynamics. So in this chapter, see what are the points we have to cover. We have to study basically the law of conservation of energy. So what is that law of conservation of energy? We are studying that law since 9th or 10th standard, and that law of conservation of energy is stated as energy can neither be created nor destroyed. Just one form of energy is converted into another form of the energy. That is what we have studied about the law of conservation of energy. Energy can neither be created nor destroyed. Just one form of energy is converted into another form of energy, and the total quantity of energy remains constant, remains same, because it is conserved. So that law of conservation of energy you are familiar with, already you have studied. Then, depending on the heat gain or heat loss, there are two types of the chemical reactions. Those two reactions also you have studied. They are endothermic chemical reactions and exothermic chemical reactions. Those reactions also we have to study in detail in this chapter, where we know that endothermic reactions are the reactions which are taking place with absorption of heat, and exothermic reactions are the reactions which are taking place with evolution of the heat. The reactions taking place with absorption of heat are known as endothermic reactions, and the reactions which are taking place with release of heat, evolution of heat, are known as exothermic chemical reactions. So those two different type of chemical reactions already you have studied somewhere. Those reactions we have to study in detail in this chapter of chemical thermodynamics once again. Further, we know that some of the reactions are taking place on their own accord. The reactions are taking place without taking the help of external energy, whereas some of the reactions require the help of external energy. The reactions which are taking place in nature itself, those reactions are naturally occurring reactions, and they will not require the help of external energy. They are known as spontaneous reactions, spontaneous processes. And the processes which will require the help of external energy, they are not taking place naturally. They are non-naturally occurring processes. Non-naturally occurring processes. They are also known as man-made processes. Man-made. They are also known as non-spontaneous processes or reversible processes. So what are those spontaneous and non-spontaneous processes? Reversible, irreversible processes. That part also we have to study in detail in this chapter of chemical thermodynamics. But basically, while studying the introduction, we know that there are different forms of the energy. Let us see the introductory part. Let us see the introductory part. Here we know that there are many different forms of energy, and those forms of energy are interconvertible into each other. That is the law of conservation of energy. Energy can neither be created nor destroyed. Just one form of energy is converted into another form of energy, and the total quantity of energy remain constant. So what is that law? What we are studying in that law? There it is observed that there are many forms of energy, different forms of energy, and those forms of energy are interconvertible into each other. One form of energy is converted into another form of energy. There are many forms of energy. For example, whenever solid is converted into liquid, one form of energy is converted into maybe there is the absorption of energy. Solid absorb heat and converted into liquid. Liquid whenever heated again absorb heat and converted into gas. So during that transformation of the phase, solid to liquid or liquid to gas, there is change in energy take place. There is a change in energy take place. Energy is absorbed. Solid converted to liquid, liquid converted to gas, energy is absorbed, and phase transition take place. Change in phase take place. On the other hand, if we consider gaseous state converted to liquid, loss of heat take place, release of heat take place, condensation process. Or whenever liquid is converted to the solid, there also loss of heat take place, loss of energy take place, energy is released. So whenever phase transition take place, one phase is converted to another phase, there is change in energy observed. Either energy is absorbed or maybe energy is released. If we study certain processes in the galvanic cell, what happens in the galvanic cell? Chemical energy is converted into electric energy. Spontaneously, chemicals react together. Spontaneously, naturally, as soon as the connections are completed, immediately chemicals react together and electric energy is generated. It means that chemical energy is converted into electric energy spontaneously in the galvanic cell. If we take the example of dry cell, that is Leclanche cell, what happens? The spontaneous reaction take place and chemical energy is converted into electric energy. There are some of the processes opposite also, in which electric energy is converted into chemical energy. Electrolytic cell, that cell is known as electrolytic cell, in which electric energy is converted into chemical energy. Electroplating of the metal, whenever the coating of one metal is given on the surface of other metal, there is conversion of electric energy into the chemical energy take place. That is known as electrolysis, electrolytic cell. So many forms of energy are there, and those forms of energy are converted into each other. Any substance, due to its position, has one form of energy known as potential energy. If we consider the case of water stored in a dam, it has the form of energy known as potential energy. Due to position, water in a dam has the form of energy known as potential energy. Due to storage, due to the position, the energy associated with the water in a dam, reservoir is known as potential energy. Whenever that water falls now converted into kinetic energy. Here potential energy is converted into kinetic energy. And if this kinetic energy of the water is used to drive the turbine, to rotate the turbine, drive the turbine. Suppose here is the wheel of turbine. If it is rotated, kinetic energy of water is used, and this turbine, if it is moved, kinetic energy of water is used to drive this turbine. At that time, kinetic energy is converted into electric energy. So which are these three different forms? Potential energy due to position, due to storage in reservoir in the dam. You know that water falls from higher level to the lower level. Potential energy is converted into kinetic energy. And if the kinetic energy of water is used to drive the turbine, this can be rotated, and kinetic energy can be converted into electric energy. So those are the three different forms of energy. They are converted into each other: potential energy to kinetic energy, and kinetic energy into electric energy. At the same time, each form of energy can also be converted into heat energy also. Heat energy. Instead of this turbine, if this water falls on the surface of rock, if it falls on the surface of rock, kinetic energy is converted into heat energy. It is suggested that all the various forms of energy are converted into heat energy also. Kinetic energy can be converted into heat energy. Electric energy can be converted into heat energy, or potential energy can also be converted into heat energy. All the forms of energy are convertible into each other, as well as each form of energy can also be converted into heat energy also. Therefore, it is observed that there is a certain constant relationship. There is a certain constant relationship observed between different forms of energy and heat energy, and that is studied with the help of branch of chemistry known as thermodynamics. So thermodynamics is defined as a branch of chemistry which deals with study of quantitative relationship between heat energy and different forms of energy. Or chemical thermodynamics is a branch of chemistry which deals with study of energy changes in the different transformations. The transformation may be a physical change, or transformation may be a chemical change. There is change in energy take place, and that change in energy during physical transformation or during a chemical transformation can be studied with the help of branch of chemistry known as thermodynamics. Transformations means whenever solid is converted into liquid, or liquid is converted to the gas. These are the physical transformations. Solid converted to liquid, energy is absorbed. Liquid converted to gas, energy is absorbed. Other way, whenever liquid is converted to the solid, energy is released. Or gas, whenever converted to liquid, energy is released. So these are the transformations. These are physical transformations, and those physical transformations are accompanied with change in energy, and that change in energy accompanying the physical transformation is studied with the help of branch of chemistry known as thermodynamics. So broadly, thermodynamics is a branch of chemistry which deals with study of quantitative relationship between different forms of energy and heat energy, or it is the branch of chemistry which deals with study of energy changes accompanying the physical transformations or maybe a chemical transformations. And in this chapter of chemical thermodynamics, we have to study certain basic terms. There are certain basic terms. So let us see over here. First important basic term is nothing but a system. Here we have to study system and surrounding. So what is meant by system? System is any part of the universe chosen for thermodynamic study. Any part of the universe which we have chosen to perform the thermodynamic study is known as a system. Any part of the universe which is chosen for thermodynamic study is known as a system. We know that system may be very small or it may be very big also. The system may be microscopic like unicellular organisms, bacteria, viruses, amoeba. They are organisms, unicellular organisms. Unicellular. Only one cell, containing only one cell. They are microscopic organisms, but they are also live. Means they also comprise the system. Very small system. The system may be very big also. Very big. Solar cell model. Solar cell model in which sun is present at the center and different planets are revolving around the sun. In the solar cell model, sun is present at the center and different planets are revolving around the sun. That is also known as a system. Biggest system. That is the biggest system. Very big. The unicellular organisms are biological systems. Then solar cell model you are studying in physics. Here in the chemical thermodynamics we have to study a chemical system. Here we have to study a chemical system, and usually chemical system is nothing but a beaker. It is nothing but a beaker containing reaction mixture or beaker containing reactants is known as a chemical system. Usually in chemistry we have to study a chemical system, and chemical system is nothing but either a beaker or it is the test tube containing reaction mixture, containing reactants. The mixture of reactants taken in a beaker or taken in a test tube is nothing but the chemical system, because this is the part we have chosen for a thermodynamic study. For a thermodynamic study, this part we have chosen, and it is known as a chemical system. So for this one, what type of study we have to do? We know the thermodynamics. Thermodynamics is a branch of chemistry which deals with study of energy changes accompanying the physical or chemical change, physical or chemical reaction. So here, if chemical change take place, if the chemical change take place over here, what is the change in energy? Whether energy is absorbed or energy is released, that is clear. So this part is nothing but a system. This is the part we have chosen for our thermodynamic study. And besides this part, the whole part remaining is known as a surrounding. Surrounding is the part of universe remaining just by excluding the system. This is a system, and the total universe, remaining part of the total universe, is known as a surrounding of this system. What is surrounding? Surrounding is the part of universe remaining just by excluding the system. If we exclude the system, the total universe is known as surrounding of that system. But suppose this is the system over here, and I have to hit this system. I have to hit this system. So if I have one lamp over here, if this is the lamp, suppose it is a spirit lamp, and I have kept over here for hitting. Can it cause the hitting of this system? No. What I have to do? This spirit lamp I have to take over here. This spirit lamp I have to take over here only. And now this spirit lamp will hit the system. No doubt, this is surrounding, this is also surrounding, but which will affect the system is this position, is this closed position, or this position. This is the position which will affect the system, but this is a position that is not affecting the system. Therefore, surrounding in more correct manner, in more appropriate manner, is the part of universe which is in the closed vicinity. The part which is in the closed vicinity, immediate neighborhood of the system, is known as surrounding. So surrounding is nothing but the part of universe excluding the system, but in more correct manner, in more appropriate manner, the part of universe which is in the immediate neighborhood, closed vicinity of the system, is known as a surrounding of that system. So these are the two basic terms. System is any part of the universe which is chosen for a thermodynamic study, where we have to study what happens to the change of energy, whether energy is absorbed or energy is released, that can be studied. That is the part of universe known as system. And the whole part of universe just by excluding system is known as surrounding of that system. But here I have told you, if this is the system and I have to hit this system, I have one spirit lamp. If this spirit lamp is kept at position number 1 and position number 2, which is more effective position, this is the more effective position of spirit lamp. This is not effective position of the spirit lamp in order to hit this system. Therefore, surrounding in more correct manner, in more appropriate manner, is defined as part of the universe which is in the immediate neighborhood, closed vicinity of the system. So these are the two basic terms, system and surrounding. Now there are different type of systems on the basis of exchange of energy and matter. Types of system. On the basis of exchange of energy and matter in between system and surrounding, there are three type of systems. On the basis of exchange of energy and matter in between a system and surrounding, there are three type of systems. See over here, suppose we have a water in beaker. Here we have taken the water in a beaker, and if this is heated, here we have the water, and that water is heated. So what happens? Heat is absorbed from surrounding to the system. Heat is absorbed, and temperature of water increases. Kinetic energy goes on increasing. Kinetic energy of water molecule increases. So what happens? After some time, at certain temperature, the water molecules which are present at the surface get converted into vapor state. They are converted into the vapor state, and vapors of the water escape out from the system. Vapors of water are escaped out from the system. See what I have done over here. If we take a beaker, in the beaker we have taken water, and that is heated. At start, there is only a potential energy due to position. There is the potential energy, but due to heating, kinetic energy goes on increasing. Kinetic energy goes on increasing, and whenever the kinetic energy becomes greater than the internal energy, intermolecular energy, at that time the bond between surface molecule and the second layer molecule is broken, and molecules present at the surface get converted into vapor state, converted into gaseous state, and vapors will escape out of the system. Vapor will escape out of the system. So what happens in this system? Heat is absorbed and matter is given out. There is exchange of both energy as well as matter take place. This type of system is known as open system. So whenever water taken in a beaker, open beaker, and heated, it forms the open system because there is free exchange of both energy as well as matter take place. The energy is absorbed by the system and matter is given out from system to the surrounding. Both the exchange of energy as well as matter take place. This is known as open system. All living organisms. See, example, all living organisms, that is plants and animals. All living plants and animals are nothing but the example of open type of system where there is exchange of both energy as well as matter take place in between the system and surrounding. Now let us see second type of the system.